Hey Floss Tube, my name's Dana and my channel name is Gemstone Stitches. I'm coming to you from sunny Vermont. We're having a really nice day today. I think the high is 63, but it feels warmer than that to me. Maybe it's just because I've gotten used to the cold by now. So the kids are out playing with their friends, and the girls are actually at a friend's house playing outside, and my son's out there with his friends. I went out on a run, not on the treadmill, which was really nice, and thought, you know what, since everyone is totally occupied, I'm gonna film the Floss Tube because I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I have 6 whips to share with you. One of them is a new start, and 5 of them are focuses. One of them's a focus, well, 2 of them I'm hoping to finish this year, which would be really nice. We'll see if that happens, but it's always nice to have some goals and shoot towards them, and if they don't happen, it's okay because it's just our hobby. And real quick before I start showing you my whips, I did want to shout out a couple of YouTubers that I've been watching. When I see that they have a new video, I immediately, if I can, start watching it, or it's on my mind to watch it until I get the time to. And one of them is Natasha, the Dopamine Stitcher. She's been on for a while now, maybe a year, 2 years possibly. And I really enjoy the projects that she shares. She has a lot of full coverages and a lot of brightly colored full coverage. And it's just really nice to see the progress. She always has a ton of progress. And it's interesting to listen about her other hobby of watching eagles' nests. And she has a lot of eagle projects too, which are really beautiful. Some of them look like nature, but others bring in all that bright color that she uses all the time. So that's a channel I think you should check out. And then also Making Things with String, and that is with Kate and Julia. They're up in Canada, and I've really been enjoying their videos. They're really fun to watch, a really lovely friendship, and they make me laugh. And I have family, I'm married into family that half of my husband's family is up in Canada. So I've gone up to Moncton, New Brunswick a couple times, and all the way up to Prince Edward Island, which was a dream come true for this girl who grew up on Anne of Green Gables and Tales of Avonlea. And I remember Kate and Julia talking about how there needed to be an Anne of Green Gables cross stitch of some sort, and I couldn't agree more. What would really be cool is if like Owl Forest embroidery or something had that as one of their stitches they put out there. You know how they kind of take stories of some sort and make a cross stitch out of it. I think Anne of Green Gables would be a really good one, but I really think you should check out their channel. They have tons of really awesome projects, and well, I was going to say another thing about it. Oh, they do the Survivor 50. Well, not Survivor 50. They've made a cross-stitching game out of Survivor and Big Brother, I think, which is another reason why I love their channel, because I've always watched Survivor. Unfortunately, I can't play the game with them because my stitching time is so sporadic. I never know when I'm going to get the stitching time, and so playing a game like that would probably bum me out because I'd be thinking I need to get my stitches in for this, but I can't today, and you know how it works. But anyhow, yeah, go check them out because they have a really awesome channel and it's fun to watch them. Okay, so on to the whips. we have my new start for the year. I had 3 whips that I was thinking about doing, and I actually wasn't even going to start this one, but when I went to pick out my project to start it, the fabric, it was too small. The fabric was too small. So I was like, oh, now I can't start this one. So I went with this one, which is fine because I really love this one. It's Blueberry J by Jessica Doize. I don't know how you say that. But this is the pattern, all stitched up. I wasn't able to get my hands on that fabric, so I chose something a little different, but still dark green. And here is my start, right here. Started in the top right corner. This is about a week's worth of stitching or so. Really, really fun, bright colors. And this fabric is Sage Newcastle linen, and it's 40 count, so very small. Stitching 1/2. So I think the colors are popping really well so far, and it will be an okay fabric for this. Love the purples and the greens. Those are my 2 favorite colors. And of course, I like blues. I like all the colors, but I definitely gravitate towards the cooler tones. So I'm right here in this section. If I move along over here, I'm going to get to those big blueberries. I just love this series. There might be more than these. I have 2. I have Cherry Magpie and Blueberry Jay. And I just love how she combines a bird and a fruit together with all the Quaker in the background. And the colors are just, you can just eat it up. Okay, next. This is my focus for a finish, and it's Celtic Winter by Lavender and Lace. I'm doing a color conversion to blues and grays and silvers. And this is how far I've gotten. Oh man, it takes forever. Like, these dresses are huge. And you feel like you stitch on it so much, and there's still so much more to go. But I think I'm getting to the bottom at least. And I am doing the cloak over the dress, which is not part of this, but a lot of people have added the cloak over their head for the winter cold. As I said before, I'm not sure how much I like how this turned out, but I'm gonna wait till everything's in there with like the border and the other details to see in like the front of the dress and all the bottom details to see if, you know, I don't focus as much on that part. So I'm slowly working my way down to the bottom of the dress where some of the fun comes in, bottom of the cloak, and then the dress will have some stuff. I did do the skin 2/1/2 across, and this is on a 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana. So most of it's 2/2, but the skin I did the 1/1/2 cross method. And it's not too bad on this one because that's all you get is just her head and her neck. So I'm trying to put in a week a month on this to hopefully finish it up, because I'm about, like, the cloak comes pretty far in front. It comes from her chest all the way kind of down, and really only this front part with all that fun frilliness on the bottom is going to be showing. And I think once you get done with the dress, this part goes fast because I'll show you in a minute. I've started spring, and that's where I started, was at the top with that one. And that goes really quick. Okay, my next focus piece is Heaven and Earth Design project. It's called Peacock Daze. This is artwork by Josephine Wall. And this is the story of my wedding, because my wedding theme was peacock feather and those vibrant colors from that. And so this is like me with my braided hair, which I didn't have braided hair because my hair's, I have very fine, thin hair, and just didn't work to do that. But that's what I envisioned with the updo. And then the peacock's up there. And it's hard to tell in here, but this part over here is almost like a castle with the reflection in the water. And what's really interesting in this is there's little heads all throughout the flowers. Like you can almost see one. I'll show you the project. You can see it better stitched up. But here is where I'm at with this one. So I'm on the 3rd row of pages. Last year I completed 2 pages. Sorry, let's just fold it. So I completed these 2 pages over here. There's a close-up of the peacocks, but you can see there's kind of like a face right there, a face right here. Let's see where else. Oh yeah, this right here, there's a face. So I thought that was such an oh, here, this is the face, it looks like. Such an interesting detail. So this year, what I'm doing is the last 3 pages of the row. This is actually 3, there's like a page, and then 3/4 of the page probably down here. So I'm just going all out. I'm color completing throughout those 3 pages. And it's really exciting because I'm getting to her face finally. And there's a lot more. There's still a whole ton of confetti in this piece. But what's really fun is these 3 pages seem to have a lot more of one color at a time before you have to switch. So like all these different colored light yellows and golds. And like there's kind of some block stitching even in her face. What I'm doing now is I'm focusing on all the little colors that are in her eye so that her eye can get finished. And then I really just want to do all these colors over here and kind of in here before I start bringing in the peacock tail. That's kind of the blue part that's going to go around here, because that's a lot of confetti, and these colors don't tend to be in any other part of these pages. So that's my plan of action until I get to the very end, which there's this really light color. It's not white, but it's like one of those 3865 light colors. There's tons of it in her face, tons of block stitching too. And white on this fabric the light colors are not as fun to stitch or as easy to stitch. So I'm going to just save that one to the very end as the last color that I use. And it'll kind of be fun because it's a lot of block stitching. Easier, and it will be easier for me to see. So my goal for this year is to finish this row, and then maybe I might keep going because I really want to finish this so I can move on to a different full coverage project one day. This is stitched on 28 count 1/1. And I've been stitching on this for about 10 years. So far I've gotten. My next project is Victorian Dollhouse. And this, I forgot to look up what the fabric was. But this is by Joan Elliott. And this is what it looks like. Last year, I started trying to get more work on this project completed because it's so big. And if I don't pull it out, if I only pull it out every once in a while, it's just going to be one of those projects that lingers my whole life and doesn't get done. And there's somebody out there who was doing this strand a day idea of every day you put one strand of thread into the project. And I liked that idea, but then I wasn't ending up doing it. So then I would say, oh, okay, I'm just going to put 3 strands in today because I didn't do strands the last couple days. And it became something I thought about too much. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to have this be my travel project at all times. So my kids have different activities that I drop them off at, and then I have to stay there because they're still pretty young while they're doing their activity. So I'll sit and I'll cross stitch, or anytime that we're traveling somewhere and I'll have a chance, I'll bring this along so I could get some stitching in. And this is how far I've gotten with that. Last year I was focusing on this. Well, I should show you. I was focusing on this bottom room, and I was able to get that all done and back stitched. And then this room was already done before that, and well, I think this whole bottom and the hallway. And before that I had this room done. And so now I am focusing on this top attic room. I think the bed is all done. There's still, I got these little, it's a basket and something else, like boxes, I guess, stacked up on each other on this dresser. So I got those 2 things done. And then there's still some stitching to do here and all in here. And from there I'm going to start on the roof, like the shingles, and then start the back stitch for that. So it's coming to an end. It's very exciting. So just a little bit more in here, and then all this blue, which is going to only be about half of it for where I am right now on the Q-snap. And then from there I'll have to decide if I want to go this way or go downstairs. This is really easy to work on traveling because I think it's 32 count, and there's a lot of block stitching in it. It's not a hard pattern to follow. Sort of pick some colors that I'm gonna need and put them in the project bag, and then don't forget the needle and the scissors. Every once in a while that happens and I'm so bummed. Okay, so Victorian Dollhouse. Then the other piece that I'm trying to finish this year, we'll see, is Brooke's Books Advent Animals. And it's a really cute series where there's a little animal for every day of December leading up to Christmas. So it's that's why they call it Advent, obviously. And then Each character has a little name. And I had started the first day of December a long time ago. And then just never touched it. And I was thinking, oh, I won't even do it. I don't think I'll do this anymore. But I bought this huge, nice piece of fabric. So I was kind of bummed about that portion. And then I thought, you know, my daughter, well, even my son, he's 10, but my daughters are still so little. If I just focus on this and do it, they'll really still get to enjoy it. So let's get a move on. The goal is to get 2 animals done a month, 2 days a month. And that way, 12 months, that's 24 days. I can't remember if there's a 25th animal or not, or if there's only 24. I'll have to look. Because if that's the case, I'm going to have to do a little bit more at some point. And I've been able to really keep up with that because we're in April right now and I have 6 done. So I finished Katie Kitty. I'm also debating if I should write their name on here because right now it's fresh in my mind and I remember, but I'm trying to think about down the road, will I remember the names of each of these animals every year? I don't know. And then this is Peter Polar Bear. And something about these that is so cute that I've seen a ton of people stitch these, but I didn't realize all the cute little details that are. Like Katie Kitty is ice skating and she's like, maybe she's ice fishing, but the little fish that she has is kind of like a gingerbread cookie. And she's got mistletoe or like holly berries in her hair and her little sweater. And they all have, a lot of them have these little eyelashes. And then there's Peter Polar Bear. Cute little sweater and hat. And look at that big mug with the steam coming off. And this one's called Mary Mouse. And she's a little princess ballerina. She's got a crown and green ballet shoes. And she's got a candy cane. Look at her little eyes and mouth and ears. Oh my gosh, the whole thing is just so cute. And those little hands. And tutu. And then we have Duncan Dog. And he's like a little Scottish dog with his vest and hat. And a dog bone with a bow. Oh, he's so dapper. And then Hattie Hedgehog having a little tea party. She's got her teapot and then the teacup is on her head and they match. They both have the same heart and colors. She's holding a little present and she's got those cute little feet. And look at her eyes and eyelashes. And all like the little spikes. Very, very sweet. And then the last one I completed was, I think it's Cashmere Camel. And she's just fancy. She's got green eyeshadow and big old eyelashes. And she's got pink toenails. And she's carrying some presents on her back. She's wearing lipstick too. So she is very, very cute. And the next one is Pierre Penguin, and he's having a little martini. So that one will be fun. And there's going to be less colors in him because there's just a lot of black and white. In fact, I'm going to start working on that tonight if I have any stitching time because we're mid-April and I haven't even started them. So we'll see if I can do it this year. It might have to go on to next year, but I have a lot of momentum right now, so I'll take it. All right, my last project is, oh, I forgot to tell you, this is stitched on Cobalt. You see my notes. Cobalt Fiber on a Whim Lugana 2/2. It feels even smaller than 32 count, maybe because of the dyeing, but that's okay. I don't mind it. Okay, the next one is Chatelaine Herbularius, the Medieval Herb Garden Mandala. I've had this one going for quite some time. And here is where I am. I've got it all folded. This is a very big piece of fabric, but I got it folded just to show you the part that I'm actually done with. Last year I did the whole, well, not last year. Last year I finished the middle square. And so I was finally able to move up to these arches and get a lot of that done. And all these little squared openings are going to be specialty stitches. And I still have the arrow pointing up that this is the top, which I would need to take that out and put it, I need to put it in the middle right here. I think might be a good spot for it, because eventually I'm going to be moving in all these different areas and won't necessarily see that arrow there, and it's kind of in the way now. I'm gonna have to stitch. But I have done the beads and all the sparkly I don't know if you can hear those kids out back. They're playing and making noises. Little boy noises. So, sparkly. So I don't have a set routine of how often I bring this one out, but it's just something that is on my mind, and I want to try to put some work into every couple months. I mean, I don't know if this could be a goal, but as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I did do these arches, so maybe it'd be fun. Well, not the whole arches. There's a ton more to do within those, but maybe it'd be fun to try to get them done. And then next year work on the next side. So those are the whips that I worked on. And I have a couple of plans for May. Definitely I'm going to bring out my daughter. She's a May baby. The Mirabilia May's Emerald Fairy. And this is where I am so far with her. I thought I had all her skin done. I'm also doing the 1/1/2, but I think I missed her thumb or something up here. And I was so excited to pull out the Krennic to start on the wing. So that's what I'm gonna do next, is I'm gonna finish the skin and then pull down her dress and start working on the wings some more in May. And I was thinking, I don't know, as I was kind of looking at my projects just now, I saw the Celtic Spring. I have all of them, but winter and spring are the only two that I've started. And I thought, since it is spring and I'm excited about that, maybe I'll just put in a few days or something on this one. So I really have only done that top portion of the border and started on the letters. But otherwise, I'll just be continuing to work on all the other ones that I showed you. We are taking a little trip actually to Montreal next week, or it's the kids' spring break. And I've never been to Montreal, even though where we are in Vermont is literally an hour and a half, less than 2 hours away. I've been to Toronto and up the east coast of Canada before, but for some reason the place I'm so close to I've not been to yet. And there's a lot of big, like there's a big zoo not far from where we live, less than 2 hours away again, called the Granbury Zoo. So one of these days I want to cross the border and do that. But I really just want to see Montreal, and there's a place called the Biodome that we want to bring the kids to. And there's also a cross-stitch store. I looked, and I'm not even going to try to say, that's another thing. There's a lot of French going on in Montreal, and I grew up learning Spanish, because grew up in Texas, so that's more of a common language down there. And up here, French is more common because we're so close to Quebec and Montreal and all that. La Cigale Brodu. I don't know. I'll write it in the bottom, and then you guys can read it. But I'm going to visit that little store, and I'm very excited about it. What I plan to do is, I have this long dog sampler called Act of God. I just liked this one because of all the diamonds. I have this fabric. It's not this bright in person, but it is very bright. But because the way the light is coming in, and it's kind of blowing up the color to be even brighter than this. But I have this fabric, and what I want to do is find a silk. I'm going to bring this with me and find a silk that's really pretty to go on top of it. And I've already done one long dog sampler, and I used a light color. It's going to go in this room when it is done and framed, and it's going to go in this room one day. But it's this light colored fabric, a purple fabric with a dark purple thread, DMC 550. So that's kind of the aim with this one, is it's got this lighter green fabric with probably a dark green silk of some sort is the goal. But as I've stitched projects here and there that use silk, I thought it would be really nice to have something so smooth and buttery go right through the fabric. And it's going to be stitched 1/1 because, or 1/2, because it's 36 count, right? No, it's 40 count. Oh yeah, so it's small, but I want that delicate look. And the reason I said 36 is because this is a fat half, 36 inches by 26. So it's big. It's a big project. A lot of them are. So I don't know when I will start this, but it's just something I can whenever I want, once I find the thread I want to use, and then just kind of have it there to work on as I feel. Oh, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we're gonna do. Well, I am gonna bring my 2 projects, so on the drive I can be working on this, and then if we have some time at night, like when the kids are watching something and winding down, I can maybe work on my Advent animals. Because this fabric is it's pretty small. So I want to say I tried to work on this in the car once, and I mean, I can do it, but it's just a little small. So I want to avoid feeling that car sickness feeling if I can. Okay, well, it's really been nice catching up, and I hope everyone's enjoying their stitching. I sure am. I can't ever get enough of it. And I hope to find some more goodies while I'm in Montreal too, besides my goal of finding a silk. And I'll be sure to share that with you next time. All right, guys, happy stitching. Bye.